So for today's podcast, Dr. Smith, superintendent, is back with us. Thank you, David, for joining us.
My pleasure.
So we're trying to keep people informed with changes, and we've got a big change that we want to talk about today. So starting on Wednesday, we're going to see a major change to our program of making sure kids are getting fed during this very unique time of closure. So you want to just talk to us about how's this going to look on Wednesday?
Sure. We're very pleased to be able to partner with Ameriqual, phenomenal partner with EVSC and with this community. And they are producing meals ready to eat for our students. We've been doing a good job feeding our kids, but it's been taxing on our food service workers and keeping that social distancing and then the distribution. So we contacted Ameriqual, worked through lots of issues with U.S. Department of Agriculture, because this is not the typical thing, but
Sure.
so starting in just a few days, we're going to distribute meals at the regular sites, but they will be in packs of 10 breakfasts and 10 lunch. So that'll be good for our students for 2 weeks. And, they'll be in packages that really look like it's the size of 4 bread loaves, but stacked 2 on 2, about 15 by 9. And then we will also be providing cold milk to go along with that.
Okay, so really the idea here is this is going to provide lunches and breakfast items, and as you just said, milk for students for 2 weeks, the way we're going to do this. So we're going to have a distribution this week on Wednesday, and then again 2 weeks later. So,
Yep.
And we're going to put out a lot of specific information about that, so we won't get into those nitty-gritty details right here. But our hope, of course, is that by doing this, it's going to make it easier for families to only have to worry about showing up one time every 2 weeks instead of 3 times a week as they've been doing.
Correct. And certainly their shelf-stable foods will last upwards of 6 months. So before we had to prepare it and then distribute it that day. So this will be much, much easier for families and for everybody involved.
And as you said, we do want to say, and I know you feel this way, a huge shout out to our food service employees and so many community volunteers, because it has taken an incredible workforce to be able to put together lunches during this closure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So this will make that part a little bit easier. And when you say, let me just ask you a little more about relaxed guidelines from USDA, because of course we always have to follow food guidelines. We don't just decide what to pack in lunches, or even during a regular school year scheduling lunches, we have to hit those guidelines. Those have been relaxed a little bit, so you're going to see some different items in these the meals.
And I wouldn't say they're relaxed. They're just aligned actually to FEMA standards.
Okay.
As you know, Ameriqual is a phenomenal producer of meals ready to eat. I think I heard that they did 15 million meals a few years back in just a very short period of time. So they can produce high quality meals in a hurry. But one of the tasks that we were challenged with was to receive a waiver to go past the regular amount of time that typically we can use to distribute food.
Okay.
And then the nutritional guidelines were just adjusted slightly, but they were adjusted for FEMA. And I'm grateful to USDA for doing that, because they moved very quickly. That doesn't always happen with governmental entities. So grateful for that. They saw the need. They saw that we were doing a pretty innovative thing, but once again, leveraging the outstanding talent and assets we have in our community. So it's a win for everybody. And first and foremost, kids that need food will have food.
Okay. And I did just want to touch on here, the great thing about this is instead of coming 3 times a week, as we said earlier, you're going to be coming Wednesday and then coming back 2 weeks later. But we do want to make sure people understand you're going to be carrying more. So do you want to touch on that for a second? Because we want people to be prepared when they come.
Yes. Instead of grab and go bags, they're going to be grab and go boxes, and then also a gallon and a half of milk. So, please come prepared for that. We'll also have some volunteers to assist, but it's going to look and be a little bit different.
Okay. And of course, we're going to try to create this system so that we're following all the social distancing guidelines to make sure this is a safe environment.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming in again. And I know, again, it goes without saying, you've said it twice, just how much we value our community partnerships, and Ameriqual is a great example of them.
Absolutely. I mean, this community is pulling together, and thank God that Southwest Indiana seems to have not been hit as severely as other parts in our state and our country. And I think that's because of the leadership of city and county officials and healthcare providers just really knocking it out of the park and working tirelessly to make everybody, as healthy as possible. So thanks to our kids, thanks to our parents, thanks to our community, thanks to our staff.
Okay. Well said, Dr. Smith. We'll get these specific bits of information posted on the website along with on EVSC social media. We're even going to send out a phone call and text to make sure that everyone in our school gets this information. We're excited about this starting on Wednesday. So
Yes,
thanks so much.
Thank you.